Have you ever felt that the exact moment you needed the most peace, someone made everything 10 times harder? Studies show that up to 1 in 3 new mothers experience family-related stress that worsens postpartum mental health. And honestly, for many women, the biggest trigger comes from inside the house, not the baby. If your postpartum felt heavy, chaotic, or emotionally draining because of your mother-in-law, you are not alone. And today, we're going to talk about what really happens behind closed doors. Before we begin, don't forget to like this video, subscribe, and share your story in the comments. Your voice can help another mother feel less alone. Postpartum is supposed to be a time of softness, slow mornings, learning your baby's smell, discovering your own rhythm as a mother. But for many women, it becomes a battlefield the moment the mother-in-law steps in with criticism disguised as help. It often starts subtly. A raised eyebrow because you're holding the baby wrong, a comment about how she recovered faster, a suggestion that in her time, things were done better. These tiny cuts accumulate until you no longer feel like you're mothering you feel like you're performing motherhood under surveillance. And when you're hormonal, exhausted, and still healing, even the smallest judgment can feel like someone pulling the rug out from under you. What should be a sacred space becomes invaded. Your decisions are questioned. Your instincts are doubted. And slowly, without noticing, postpartum turns into a war zone, with you trying to protect your peace while holding a newborn in your arms. One of the heaviest parts of postpartum isn't the physical recovery, it's the emotional pressure that comes from everyone expecting you to be a perfect mother from day one. Your mother-in-law, especially, may carry her own beliefs about motherhood, and instead of offering support, she projects those expectations onto you. Suddenly, every choice you make feels like a test you're failing. You breastfeed? She says the baby is still hungry. You bottle feed? She questions your commitment. You're tired? She calls you dramatic. You cry? She says she never had time to cry when she was a new mom. No matter what you do, it feels wrong. This invisible weight becomes heavier because postpartum already comes with hormonal changes that make you more sensitive and emotionally raw. When someone constantly compares you to other mothers, or worse, to the way she did things, your confidence begins to crumble. Imagine carrying a newborn in your arms while also carrying the expectation to smile. Be grateful, stay calm, recover quickly, keep the house clean, entertain visitors, and still hear that you're not doing enough. It's an emotional storm that no one prepares you for. And the worst part? You start believing that maybe you really aren't enough, when the truth is that you're overwhelmed, not inadequate. And the expectations placed on you are unrealistic, unfair, and often rooted in someone else's unresolved insecurities, not your shortcomings. Gaslighting during postpartum is one of the most damaging experiences a new mother can go through because it targets the one thing you're trying so hard to build, your confidence. It often sounds harmless at first. Are you sure the baby is hungry? He's crying because you're nervous. You're too emotional. Must be hormones. You're overreacting, that's not what I meant, but repeated day after day. These comments create a painful effect. You start doubting what you feel. You second-guess every decision. You apologize for simply existing. Suddenly, you're not trusting your baby's cues, or your body, or your intuition. You're waiting for someone else, often your mother-in-law, to validate your choices. And that is exactly how gaslighting works. It makes you feel incapable, so that someone else feels superior or needed during postpartum. When you're exhausted, sleep-deprived, and emotionally vulnerable, gaslighting hits even harder. Your brain is already trying to adapt to a new hormonal reality, and someone's constant invalidation becomes a psychological weight you can't lift. Many mothers describe feeling like they're losing themselves when in reality, they're losing the ability to trust their own voice, a voice that someone else keeps silencing. And here's the truth you need to hear. Your instincts are not wrong. They are new, they are learning, and they deserve respect. Postpartum is already a moment when your brain is working overtime. Hormones like oxytocin, prolactin, and estrogen fluctuate dramatically, making your emotional system more sensitive and reactive. This isn't weakness, it's biology. So when a mother-in-law adds pressure, criticism, or emotional manipulation, it doesn't just bother the mother. It physically alters her levels of stress. Here's what really happens. 1. Your cortisol levels rise. Cortisol is the stress hormone. And when someone constantly questions your decisions, your body stays in alert mode. This can lead to racing thoughts, chest tightness, irritability, and the feeling that you're failing even when you're doing everything right. 2. Your emotional bandwidth collapses. Sleep deprivation already affects your memory, decision-making, and emotional regulation. Add an intrusive mother-in-law, and what should be a normal cry or feeding becomes overwhelming. You're not fragile, you're overloaded. 3. Postpartum guilt intensifies. Every judgment becomes a seed of doubt planted in your mind. Maybe I'm not enough. Maybe she would be a better mother. Maybe I'm ruining everything. This guilt is toxic and completely undeserved. 4. Anxiety becomes constant background noise. You start anticipating the next comment, the next critique, the next moment she undermines you. Your body stays tense even when she's not around. This level of stress is known to increase the risk of postpartum depression and postpartum anxiety. 5. Emotional exhaustion becomes your new baseline. When you're fighting to protect your baby, your instincts, and your peace, you burn out. Not because you're weak, but because you're fighting a battle you never asked for while trying to heal from childbirth. And the saddest part? Most new mothers blame themselves instead of recognizing that the environment around them is unsafe for their emotional recovery. You deserved gentleness. You deserved support. And if you didn't get that, your pain is valid, profoundly valid. In many postpartum stories, the mother-in-law isn't the only source of pain. The partner's response becomes the deciding factor between healing and suffering. When your partner stands with you, protects your space, and sets boundaries, the postpartum period becomes safer, calmer, and more supportive. But when your partner stays neutral, that neutrality cuts deeper than any comment your mother-in-law could ever make. Because neutrality during postpartum feels like abandonment. You're holding a newborn, bleeding, exhausted, emotionally raw, and instead of protection, you're told, "That's just how she is. She didn't mean it. You're being sensitive. Please don't start an argument right now." These phrases don't just invalidate your feelings, they isolate you. They leave you alone in a situation where you need partnership, not diplomacy. A partner who doesn't intervene allows the criticism to multiply, allows the boundaries to be crossed, allows the mother-in-law to gain emotional power over the new mother. And this can create a fracture in the relationship. The mother begins to feel unsafe, unheard, unprotected. Many women even say the emotional wound from their partner's silence hurt more than anything their mother-in-law ever said. But here's an important truth. A partner who learns, who listens, who grows, can still help rebuild safety. Postpartum isn't a moment for pride, it's a moment for partnership. The presence or absence of support during this time can define a woman's healing for years. After so much emotional pressure, criticism, and exhaustion, it's natural to feel like you've lost control of your own postpartum experience. But here's the truth many mothers forget. You are allowed to protect your peace. You are allowed to take your motherhood back. Reclaiming your power doesn't mean confrontation or conflict. It means clarity, boundaries, and learning to put your well-being first. 1. Set boundaries that are small but firm. You don't need to justify your decisions. A calm, clear sentence is enough. "I appreciate your concern, but we are choosing to do it this way." Repeat it, without apology, without guilt. Consistency builds respect. 2. Limit access when necessary. If her presence triggers anxiety, you're not overreacting, you're listening to your body. Shorter visits, scheduled times, or even temporary space are valid. Your mental health is not negotiable. 3. Strengthen your partnership. Your partner may not fully understand everything you feel, but they can learn. Have honest conversations about what hurts you, what scares you, and what you need. Postpartum is a vulnerable season, but it's also an opportunity for couples to grow stronger through empathy, not silence. 4. Rebuild your inner voice. Your instincts were never wrong. They were drowned out. Start reconnecting with them through small daily choices. How you hold your baby, how you rest, how you say no. These tiny acts of self-trust accumulate, and soon you remember, you are the mother. You are the safe place. You are the decision maker. 5. Protect your emotional space ruthlessly. Your peace is not a luxury, it's a survival tool. If something drains you, step back. If someone disrespects you, create distance. If a situation feels heavy, listen to your body before anything else. Reclaiming yourself after the postpartum you didn't deserve is not weakness. It's courage. It's healing. And it's the first step toward the motherhood experience that finally belongs to you. If you've come this far, I want you to hear this clearly. None of what happened was your fault. You were learning to mother a new life while someone else made the process heavier. And even though your postpartum may have been taken from you, your healing still belongs to you. Postpartum is not supposed to feel like survival. It's not supposed to feel like walking on eggshells. And it's definitely not supposed to feel like defending your motherhood in your own home. But you're here. You're aware. And that means you're already reclaiming your power. Final practical steps. Write down what you will no longer tolerate. This creates emotional clarity. Have one honest conversation with your partner. Not about your mother-in-law, about you, your feelings, and your needs. Choose one boundary to implement this week. Just one. Small, clear, and consistent. Give yourself permission to rest. Your body and mind are still healing, no matter how long it's been. Seek support. A therapist, a friend, a support group. You are not meant to carry this alone. You deserve a postpartum that feels safe, soft, and supportive. And even if that didn't happen, it's never too late to rebuild your emotional world. Before you go, tell me in the comments, did someone make your postpartum harder? Your story might help another mother heal. Thank you for watching, and remember, you are stronger than the pain you survived.